Hey everyone, welcome back to All Tony Farms, and today we're going to be getting into a new video. And before we get into the video, please go on and click the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Let's go on and get into the video. Welcome back to the show, everyone. I hope you all are having a fantastic day, and I apologize. It's been, how long has it been? 2 weeks since I've done my last chat. But anyway, thank you all so much for joining in tonight. We have a lot of good stuff coming up tonight. So first, in probably a little bit, I'm going to give some time for folks to kind of join in and tune in and stuff, and I'll be doing my presentation. Tonight's topic is why beekeepers send their bees to California for almond pollination. So everything you need to know about almond pollination, if you don't know, or if you do know, there'll still be some interesting stuff that you might not know, even if you kind of know some of the basic stuff about why beekeepers send their bees to California. Later, once I'm done with the presentation, I'll be answering your questions, apiary updates, and channel updates. So it's been, I haven't really been consistent on the live streams, but it's all right. I'll try to get back consistent. Thank you all so much for joining in. I think Jack and Danae got the first putt tonight, so congratulations. Randy, the Tar Heel Beekeeper, and some more folks are joining in as we speak. We just got to give some people a little bit of time, and then we'll get into tonight's topic. So here's our forecast for down here in Alabama. This is just, I don't know, not for everybody in Alabama, but for where I'm at. So today, which is Monday, October the 13th, the high was 85 degrees, the low was 56. So we're getting some cooler lows, as you can see, in the next couple of days. 59, 60, 60, 60, 63, pretty even, and the highs are pretty even as well, going up from 85 to 86, 86, 87, 85, and 86. So it's pretty even there. Looks like we don't have any chance of rain in the next 5 days. So we haven't had rain in a while. We had a little rain a couple weeks ago, but barely with anything. It really didn't do much for us. So we're still kind of very dry down here. Go. All right, so let's see who we got in here. We got Jane Diaz, Bees and Honey. Thanks for checking in. All right, so I guess I'll go on and pull up my presentation. And also, by the way, I also do have an email newsletter, and it's a really cool thing that StreamYard does now. If you see in the right corner, there is a QR code, and you may wonder what in the world that is, but it's a link that sends you to my subscription newsletter page where you can enter your email. Most of you who are already in here already are subscribed to the email newsletter, so you don't need to go back in and subscribe again. But if you know you haven't subscribed, all you got to do is take your phone, and it'll just uh go onto your camera on photos, and then uh you can it'll pop up a little thing, and it'll send you to the little page where you can subscribe. So I thought that was a really cool update that StreamYard did, and y'all can find the email newsletter there. It's a email newsletter, so you'll get stuff through email. And usually what I do is I do my live stream updates. I didn't do my live stream update today. Like, I didn't send out an email today. I just kind of forgot to do that. It's just I was working on this presentation all day today, because I actually did it last minute. So we'll see what we got. I usually do all my presentations last minute, so we'll see how it goes. So just wanted to point that out there. If you're curious what it is, so I'll mention it throughout the live stream, just in case if people are kind of weary to click on the QR code. So here is the topic for tonight, and a lot of this is guided towards maybe newer beekeepers, maybe beekeepers who aren't really familiar with what almond pollination is, and a lot of some more experienced beekeepers may not know really what almond pollination means, why beekeepers send their bees out to California. Most of us know why, most of us know the basics, but I'll go a little bit deeper in this presentation here tonight. So, we'll start out with the scale of almond pollination. Every year, millions of bees travel to California's almond orchards. Almonds are the largest pollination event in the world, and beekeepers and farmers work together to make it happen. So every year around late January into early March. So January, March I've actually talked with a lot of beekeepers, and they've mentioned a lot of times if they're sending their bees to California, when they do it, and it's around January and March. Almond trees only bloom once a year, and that bloom lasts just a few weeks. So timing is everything. When the tree starts popping white and pink, there has to be a bee ready to visit every single flower. And to make that happen, from all over the United States, beekeepers will send their hives out to California from all over the United States, Florida, Alabama, Texas, you name it. And they load their bees on big semi-trucks and ship them out west. So why do almond trees depend on bees? So as everybody knows, flowers, sunflowers, goldenrod, everything that, apples, anything really needs bees. They need bees to carry pollen from one variety of tree to another. Without bees, those blossoms would bloom and fade and never produce a single almond. And most almond orchards are planted with the different varieties side by side. So, for example, nonpareil next to Camaro, a honeybee visits a flower on one tree, picks up pollen, and then carries it over to a flower on a different variety. And that's what triggers nutset. So I think most people probably know what's in it for beekeepers. It's really it's really income for beekeepers. Um, Pollination fees help pay for season expenses. Early spring pollen boosts colony growth, and a strong start to the beekeeping year. A lot of times, beekeepers will use the income to pay for mite treatments. Will use the money to for trying to send those bees out to California, because there are expenses of doing that, so they use that income for those reasons. Almond pollination is one of the few times a beekeeper gets paid for the work the bees do, not just for honey. The growers rent the hives, usually anywhere from $180 to $220 per colony, and this price depends on strength and contract terms. And that income does help cover the feed to get these colonies strong. It helps mite treatments to make sure the mite levels are down. and equipment that those bees are in for the rest of the year, and maybe even for next year too. But it's also not just about the money for beekeepers. A lot of beekeepers do it for the money and the biological benefit for the bees. Almonds bloom very early in the season and usually late winter, and that fresh pollen helps the colony start building up brood before spring. It gives them a jump start on population growth for the year. And we all know how important it is to get a jump start, some pollen coming in, because that's really what gets the queen to start to lay. And this year was actually a prime example for me about that, because we actually had some pollen coming in the hives very early, and that really is what helped my bees to where they are now, because they got an early start, and especially out west and down here, that helps out. So a lot of beekeepers do it for that reason, and they also do it for to help the almond, the commercial operations, to the almond industry, because without bees, the almond industry would not, the almond industry would collapse. There's not enough bees with how many almonds they are trying to get. Of course, you may be wondering that there are natural bees, bumblebees, and other pollinators out there natural to their location in these orchards. Absolutely, but it usually is not really enough for the for how much they're trying to get out of almonds. So they need beekeepers to send their bees out to California. Most beekeepers know that, though. So there are some benefits, with almond pollination for beekeepers, but there also are a lot of challenges that the beekeeper and the bees face. Long distance transport stress, it stresses the colonies. Cold or wet weather slows foraging. A lot of times you have pesticides and poor nutrition. A lot of that can weaken your colonies, and hive theft is a problem. So those are your main problems. Whenever you're transporting your colonies, there is stress on the bees. Bees do face stress, no matter what. It might sound weird, but they do get stressed, especially whenever they're on semi trucks, being transported from one spot to another, especially long distances. A lot of times it's 2,000 miles or more. The bees are confined for long periods. They overheat easily, and even with good ventilation, that trip can take a real toll on their strength. Then, when the bees arrive, they're placed into orchards that don't always have much else blooming nearby. During the almond bloom, it's great. Plenty of pollen, but once that bloom ends, forage can drop off very quickly. And if there's no supplemental feeding, colonies can go downhill quickly. Weather is also another factor in challenges for bees. Almonds bloom in late winter, and California weather can be cold, windy, or rainy. All things that keep bees inside. When bees can't fly, they can't pollinate, and the colony can become stressed from lack of activity. We also have to mention pesticide exposure. You can bet that growers are getting growers are getting better about bee safe practices, but there are still risks, especially if fungicides or other sprays are applied during bloom. So, beekeepers, do what they do, but also growers who are renting these bees from commercial beekeepers. And by the way, most times beekeepers who send out their bees to California are commercial bees and commercial beekeepers. Most hobbyist beekeepers, don't, do almond pollination or anything like that. For the most part, mainly commercial beekeepers. Maybe silent beekeepers do too, just maybe at a little smaller scale than some commercial beekeepers do. So when a grower rents hives, they're not just paying for a box of bees; they're paying for pollination power. So that means they want strong, healthy colonies that can deliver results out in the orchard. So most growers, want colonies with at least 8 to 10 frames of bees. That's 8 frames covered with adult bees when you crack the hive open. Some contracts even say that you need 6 to 10 frames. It really just depends on orchard needs or the price being paid. And certified inspectors before placement, because we all know it. There are disease factors, because sometimes diseases can get spread. So they want to make sure there's no AFB, EFB, stuff like that that can really hurt a colony. So now you got to get the bees ready for the trip. So you need to feed colonies before shipping for extra strength. You want bees strong and healthy. For obvious reasons, you need them healthy. Because now, if you are a commercial beekeeper in the chat and you do this type of stuff a lot, because I don't do it, I'm just kind of covering it. But if you are, if you're from, let's just say, from Alabama and you're shipping out to California, most beekeepers I wouldn't say would stay in California for the almond bloom. They go back to their home. I'm guessing they probably they a lot of times I've heard commercial beekeepers, they a lot of times have friends or close buddies that live in the areas, and they go out and help them out. I'm sure some of those beekeepers ride out and inspect sometimes and just make sure things are going well. And if one of y'all can answer that, if you know somebody who does that, but that's what I would guess. You also want to treat for mites early and ensure healthy brood. You want to make sure your bees are healthy. You also want to secure hives for the long haul across the country. So I guess it really does depend on where you're at, where your bees are traveling to. But a lot of times, it's California is a far away, so it does you do need to prep your bees for that. Most beekeepers, hives are loaded on trucks and travel at night, since bees don't fly at night, and that's the most best way to do it for beekeepers, for commercial beekeepers who are doing this. Bees are placed in holding yards until the blooms begin, and timing is everything. I mean, I think really, honestly, y'all, timing is everything, not just for almond pollination, but for beekeeping in general. We need to make sure we have our timing right, make sure, even hobbyists, because I had to time this year right to make sure everything succeeded, not to split too early, split too late. Timing is really everything in every aspect of beekeeping, just depending on where you live. So the almond bloom usually lasts 3 to 4 weeks, so that's about a month. Bees pollinate for about 3 to 4 weeks, and hives are spaced across the orchards for even coverage, and beekeepers monitor health and activity. Trying to fly through this real quick, and then I'm going to get into some other stuff. So after the bloom ends, bees are moved out to fresh forage. So that could be in California, or they might just move them all the way back to where they were in the state that they came from, and are back to their fresh forage that they're used to. Some beekeepers will split these colonies, because a lot of times these colonies are real strong, since they have a lot of pollen nectar from these almond orchards. So they'll make some splits, make nukes. They might want to make those nukes for next year, and they can just repeat that process for those nukes and send them out to California the year after, and repeat that cycle. And then you also do want to beekeepers feed their bees once done. After is key after a tough job. So the economics. This is actually kind of the most interesting type of part behind it. Um, per hive, most times it's kind of expensive. These rentals are kind of pricey for these growers, and beekeepers get a good amount of money for this. So $180 to $220 per hives. It does vary, so it's not exactly 180 or exactly 220. It might be 199 or 200 on the dot. It just varies. You do also have costs in it, so a lot of that money is going towards your labor. It's going towards feeding, fuel, transport, um, transportation, insurance. It is profitable but risky if colonies fail. So if I was a big beekeeper, that's just me. I probably wouldn't just sell some honey and split colonies, sell splits and stuff. But a lot of bigger beekeepers who are commercial, it's a good idea for them. So key takeaways for me, almond pollination is really important. Not every beekeeper does it. Not every commercial beekeeper does it. It has risk. It has advantages. It has some benefits to beekeepers. They get some money, and but they do have to they do have some things that they have to have into it, like sugar syrup to feed, nutrition, treating for mites before sending them out. Um, and almonds depend on bees. Um, it's a huge opportunity and a responsibility for beekeepers. So it's a real big opportunity and a lot of money into it. Strong, healthy bees make all the difference. So there you go. This is it. Just some fun little thing here, fun little topic. Hope y'all enjoyed. Let me take this away. I am still kind of rusty, so I apologize if I wasn't as smooth as I usually am. I just haven't done my live stream since the week before, so I am very much rusty. So I do apologize if it sounded kind of static or whatever. I do apologize. Here we go. Got to get back on track. I've just been kind of busy. I apologize. Gary Stewart, that is a good question. Is there such thing as almond honey? I hear a lot about pollination, but wondered if they made much nectar. I didn't really research that, Gary. But I would think so. Somebody in the comments, please, if y'all would answer that. I honestly do not know the answer to that, but I would expect so. Matt, Gary, I heard it tastes like battery acid, mostly pollen and rich in nutrition for splitting and main benefit versus honey. Yep, that's right. So thanks, Matt. We have Matt, Gary, Tim, and Hannah. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anybody. We got Keith. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Make sure to click that thumbs up button on your way in. That helps the live stream out a good bit. So early, I popped up our weather forecast here, and I'm sure most of you might have not have seen this. Thank you, Miss Jan. That's Miss Jan, Pastor Larry, and Miss Jan. Thank you very much. I wonder, because I have never heard of almond honey. I haven't either. I would have, if there was nectar, I think we probably would have heard of almond honey. But anyway, so our temperatures, if you missed earlier, they kind of look pretty good. This is for us. No rain in the next couple of days. And look, we haven't had rain in a while. I don't know about y'all, but we haven't had much rain. It's just been very, very dry. Today was 85 degrees. Felt nice. No, this weekend, man, it was super nice weather. It was wonderful. Saturday and Sunday, very nice weather. It was a little touch warmer today, but still very nice. So I'm happy with the weather we're having right now, because it's really feeling nice, and it's fall weather for us, and I really enjoy that. I'm sure everybody is too. I mean, we've been experiencing some really hot weather, so it's been a real delight. Wednesday 86, Thursday 87, Friday 85, Saturday 86. So you can see it's pretty even, which is good. And the lows are 56, 59, 60, 60, 60, 60, and 63. Most days are sunny, mostly sunny, partly sunny, and no chance of rain. With that many hives going to California, if it was good, thought I would have I would hear of it. Yep, I agree with you. I would have, two, and that's I would have put it in. I would have put it in this presentation if that was a thing, but how long are bees usually on almond orchards for pollution? I think you mean pollination. But so usually, so the blooms usually last 3 to 4 weeks. So I guess if you want to set them out early, it might be about a month and a half. I don't know. I think a lot of beekeepers do like to set their bees out a little early to kind of get them prepped up, so then right when it starts, they're all over it. So that I think that's a thing, but the blooms themselves last 3 to 4 weeks. We have 16 folks tonight, though. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to click that thumbs up button on your way in. That really does help the live streams out very much. Gets them out to more people. So last week, this Saturday, I didn't have a video of it. So it's really not a whole lot going on because I mentioned earlier I was going to talk about updates, and to be honest with y'all, I really don't have many updates to share with y'all, and that's probably a good thing because I mean, if I had a lot of updates, I mean, not really a whole lot going on right now. So I do plan to maybe do my extraction this weekend or the weekend after on Sunday. So that will be an interesting video. Just get a little bit of honey. I really don't care to get like a whole lot of it, just a little bit of it, just enough so I can sell a little bit of it throughout the winter season. So we'll see. It'll be a good video. I plan to do that maybe this weekend. If not this weekend, it'll be the next weekend. It don't really matter to me what it is, but I'm hoping that I will have maybe a video this Saturday. Not really sure. It's been kind of every other Saturday for my videos since not really a whole lot going on right now. Good news is we got nectar coming in. So y'all know that it's been real rough the last month or two. No nectar coming in. But luckily no colonies, all the colonies made it through the dearth. So I mean, I couldn't ask for anything better than that. I mean, I would have been okay if I lost one through the earth. I would understand it, but coming out with all of them was a really good thing. I was really happy with it. So we got nectar coming in. The goldenrod is still blooming. How long it's going to bloom? Probably a couple more weeks. It's probably going to end sometime around early November. Yes, pollination. I saw just maybe I figured it was pollination. So anything else? Let me think. So the extraction is going to be happening this weekend and or their next weekend. One of the weekends, I really don't know. Also, by the way, if y'all see in the right corner, I mentioned earlier that's actually StreamYard came out with a really cool thing. They finally came out with QR codes where you can put them in the corner. So if you take your phone and look that up on that QR code, it'll take you to my email newsletter subscription page. So if you're not subscribed to the email newsletter page, if you would just try out that QR code, and it will take you to that page. You can enter your email and you can get subscribed. I usually just send out email newsletters of what I'm doing. I have some ideas for some new stuff coming up with it. Use it for some other stuff, and I give updates for my live streams so people they know what time it is and all that good stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We got about 30 more minutes of tonight's chat. If y'all would, make sure to click the like button. If y'all have any questions, feel free to put them in there. Good comment from Matt. From what I've heard, they sit in holding yards with thousands of hives for up to 2 months and in orchards for 34 weeks once set in place. Sounds really stressful overall. Yep, I can see where that could be very stressful for the bees. Um, so they do. That's right. I figured they would sit in holding yards for a little while just to kind of get ready or whatever for a month or two. So and then they're in the orchards like I mentioned in the presentation, 3 to 4 weeks. I have a 1986 Bee Supply magazine. What do you think it might be worth? Just for fun asking. You have a 1986. Wow. I mean, I wasn't. that was way before my time, but I really don't know what it might be worth. Maybe you might be able to get $50 from it. Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know what the value is from those older. I don't know if they treat them as um vintage. Maybe so, but that is a really cool find, and you should keep that and display it somewhere. It's a nice little thing there. Probably put it in like some type of glass or something to hang up on a wall. Thanks for checking in, Dennis. Yeah, that's a really cool find there. How many colonies are you gonna take into winter this year? I guess it all depends, but hopefully 13 because I have 13 right now. So cross our fingers that those 13 go into winter and come out into winter. But so far everything is going well. So I mean nothing. I think everything is going the way I really want it to go. I mean it's really looking good. Bees are bringing in a lot of nectar, and you know what? I was checking colonies, and this goldenrod flow is doing really well. So I really don't know if I'm really going to have to feed. It's just really all depends. I really don't think I will have to feed, but I will feed if necessary. But with how our flow is going, I probably won't. That's very nice of you, Tim and Hannah. Gifted 5 WILDWOODS Honeybee Farms memberships. Thank you, Tim and Hannah. Yeah, I'm keeping it. It was my grandmother's magazine. Absolutely. I think it's a vintage. I mean, at 1986. So yeah, but anyway, I do plan to take in 13 colonies. It just depends on how they all do. Let's see here. Um, I don't think I have any more updates or anything. Just not really a whole lot going on. I've inspected a couple. I just I've been kind of leaving them alone, letting them do their thing. I mean, just letting them bring in some nectar, building up. I did treat for mites with some abavar, half of them. I was only able to treat half of them since I only had enough abavars for the half of the colony. So I might try to get some more treatments and treat the other half. We'll see. I probably do need to do that. Grayson, so over 20 colonies next season. I think I can get to that, Keith. I really do believe so. Come out, if I can come out of winter, with 10, 13 colonies and they're looking good, kind of like last year. If y'all really don't know, some of y'all who don't really follow the channel really much or don't know or haven't really followed this year's journey, y'all need to go back to some of the videos and kind of see what I did. But basically, coming out of this year, I came out with 4, and I basically only split 2 colonies. So what I did was I put a one single, put two colonies. Both are double deeps, and then what I did was I did 5 frame split. So each colony made 4 colonies. So 1 colony into 4. And so what I did was I was able to get up to, what would that be, 7 or 8 colonies, pretty much doubled along with some a couple swarms that I caught myself, and I also was able to, I think I split again. I split twice. Yeah, I split twice. So there was one, the first time had a double deep, did the 5-frame splits, so 1 to 4. Then a little later they started making some swarm cells, and basically what I did was I did not put a queen in there. I didn't buy a queen. I didn't do any queen rearing. So basically all I did is I let them raise their own queen cells, and each split had a queen cell, a natural queen cell, and those queens are doing well. So I let them naturally raise queen cells, and I made sure each queenless split had a queen cell and let them naturally do it. What I used to do was I would, even before they made queen cells, was take 5 frames and put them away and let them make their own queen cell, which works as well. But what I did differently was I waited until the colony made swarm cells because they wanted to swarm. I didn't really want, because swarm cells are the best cells you can get. Of course, emergency cells are all right, but whenever I did that method of just 5 frames, no queen cell, put them in there, it's basically a emergency situation. So they're making emergency queen cells. But once I do swarm cells, I basically do a natural split. So that right there gave me some quality queens. So I guess if I have 10 colonies, I tripled this year, 4 to 13. Depends on how many colonies that come out. If I come out with about 10, sometimes you'll lose a couple. So I'm just factoring in maybe a couple losses, maybe 10 colonies. I'd be perfectly happy coming out with 10. I could very well triple, go up to 30 if I wanted to. I probably won't. Next year's goal will probably be 20. So over 20 colonies next season, as long as everything goes the way I intend it to. And so far, everything I really wanted to happen, everything I kind of planned for, is turning into reality. So that's a great thing there. Hey, Pastor Larry. Thanks for checking in tonight. So I think that is it of any of my updates. If you have any more questions, feel free to put them in here. We'll try to go a couple more minutes. I think we will end off here in the next maybe next 20 minutes. If y'all would, make sure to click that thumbs up button on your way in if you haven't already. Thank y'all so much for that. Now for the channel, I have been busy, so I haven't been uploading as much. So I'm just trying to get a little bit more consistent. But I'll get to that. So like I said, that there's the email newsletter. Make sure to subscribe to that. So for the channel, next week I will do my live stream. We'll see how everything goes. This weekend, like I said, I'm not sure about a video, but like I said, I was going to do my extraction. One of my recent videos, I had a video of me going through the honey supers, and they were looking good, and that was during the time when we didn't have a flow going. So now, what I was planning to do was let this goldenrod flow get going, let it get through, let the bees fill in some empty spots with a little bit of goldenrod, and then I was going to take off the supers. So that's kind of my plan. So really not sure, not really in a huge rush because we still have some warm weather to do that. I probably want to do it during the goldenrod flow, so I don't have any robbing frenzy. Because if y'all remember last year, I did it during July, and usually down here in Alabama during July, it isn't the best to do extraction outside without any type of protection outside or in a room or anything during the dearth. So this year I'll manage that a little bit better. And plus we'll be in our goldenrod flow now since it's October. But yeah, you know what? September came by very, very fast, and October's already here. So I'm already kind of in that phase of soon gonna extract and then gonna get ready for winter, which I'm really already am. I think I'm prepared for it. I might feed a touch more sugar syrup. I'll check colonies and I'll kind of overgo them and make sure their numbers are what I want them to be. I probably do need to treat a couple more colonies, but I do have them in the position I want them to be in. I just need to make sure they're fed well. A lot of my colonies already have a bunch of honey in there, so that's not really any problem right now. It's just I also have some, what do you call it? Hive Live stuff. So they actually sent it for free, which I'm still super thankful for them doing that. I really appreciate them just sending it out. Let me try it and review it. So I'll review that when the time comes. So it's some fondant which I'll use over winter. So if I need to use it over winter to make as emergency feed, that's what I call it, emergency feed, just in case if they run out, because that can very well happen. Because I've actually mentioned it in my last live stream with a guest. Our main problem down here is really the up and down temperatures. You can go down to the freezing temperatures, 32 and below, and then go up into the 60s where they start to fly. And when they start to fly, they burn up their resources. And then that can eventually lead to them starving out. The crazy thing, in 4 months we'll be starting splits and getting ready for a whole new season. You are right on that. It's been super crazy the last month. Or, I mean, the whole season really went by before we knew it. Each week goes by super fast. Each weekend goes by super fast. And before we know it, we're going to be in winter. Usually winter is the most boring season of the beekeeping season. It's really like I really call it the off season for beekeepers. We really during that season I usually just do teaching videos. So you'll see that start to emerge once we get into that season of winter. You'll see occasional updates and vlogs and stuff. I'll still do that, but during the winter season I usually swap to teaching videos because that's what most beekeepers are doing that time of year. There's just nothing to do. It really is. It's really the most boring season, but we always get through it. And then absolutely next year is going to be here before we know it. And in the next 4 months we'll be getting ready for next year. That's right as well. Building and assembling in winter. So that's I also, usually in winter I'll get ready for the next season. And that might be by buying equipment, planning. I mean, really, I think winter is a big time for beekeepers to plan for the next season. Winter gives you that time to make some ideas, some new approaches if you want to try something new, or if you don't want to try something new, just whatever you're wanting to do. In the next season, winter is a good little off season to just kind of figure that out and kind of prepare, get boxes, get your plan ready. My plan for next year, I really already kind of have it ready. Just come out of winter, make sure my bees are ready, make sure my bees are healthy, make sure they're strong, get them through winter, get them out of winter. And the next year, try to triple again. And maybe hopefully repeat that cycle. Hey Grayson, technically I'm B for real. This is just my other channel. Thanks for checking in. I appreciate you. I have seen your channel. I think I am subscribed to you. What is your name again? I can't remember. That's that's one of my main problems. Is I sometimes forget names and stuff. People tell me, look, I ask people all the time what their name is, and then I say, all right, I won't forget that. But then, like a couple days later, I see them again. I'm like, what's their name again? I mean, it's just how it goes. Hey, Richard. Collectors Rick's Honeybees. Thanks for checking in. A supporter of the channel. I want to make sure I haven't missed any comments. Nope, I didn't miss anything. You can subscribe twice. Cool. You can subscribe twice. You talking about the email newsletter, Gary? Because if you're talking about that, you can subscribe twice. That's the thing. It's a weird thing that they do. You can subscribe twice, but y'all don't have to. You don't need to subscribe twice because I don't think it'll do anything. But if you do subscribe twice and I see the same email, I can always go through and make sure it's just one email. I really don't know if you subscribe twice. I don't think it would it send it twice. I don't think it would. I think they do kind of need to fix that. Oh, you're talking about yeah, I get you. He has 2 channels, so both can subscribe. You're right there. Gunlon Bees, come on spring. You are right. I'm ready for the next season too. We'll see how next year goes. I'm looking forward to starting a new season next year. But first we do got to get through the rest of the fall season, get through winter, get to spring. If you have any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We have 17 folks in here. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, and make sure to like this live stream if you would. It always helps the channel if you would. Down with the time change coming up. I've been thinking about that too. That always gets me messed up with live streams. It's like, what would it be right now? So instead of it being 7:44 in the time change, it would be 6:44. Yeah, but it just always throws me off whenever I'm trying to do stuff. Not just live streams, but every day. I always get used to it, but every year, each time change, it just always messes you up for a couple weeks, and then you kind of get used to it. Spring crept on me up on me last year. I'll be ready this year. I get you. It does. It can come up on you very, very quickly. I think this year when I came in, I mean, I really wasn't expecting to do where I'm at right now. I was just expecting to maybe get up to 8 colonies, but 13 is awesome. I think throughout the winter season, I will need to get more equipment for next year because I am pretty much out of everything except for deep frames. But I could really use use more equipment during the winter season. So I'll probably build it because I always do build my equipment. So I enjoy it. Make sure y'all click that thumbs up button, y'all. We have 18 folks on here and like 14 likes. Make sure to like it. They need to do away with the time change. I agree with you there, Gary. I really don't understand why it's a thing, but I mean, just one or the other. Keep it the same. It's just kind of always hard to transition, all the time because in the mornings, if it's right now in this time change, it would be, if you wake up at 8 instead, it'd be 7, or if you woke up at 7 a.m., it'd be 6 a.m. It's just all wacky and stuff. Same here. I need to build boxes this winter. Yeah, me too. I need to build my boxes. Some bottom boards, top covers, everything. Get ready for next year. That's why I use the time to build boxes and assemble frames, cleans, and scrape everything so it is ready to go come spring. That's what I do too. I always use that time wisely. Usually to get ready. If you have any more questions in there, feel free to put them in the chat. I guess we're already already 10 minutes away till 8. Time came by pretty fast. So, that's pretty much it of updates. I mean, I'm just kind of really, rolling. Not doing a whole lot out in the bee yard. I haven't been out there in a couple of days, so I'm just kind of, you know, um, kind of riding the wave. Looking forward to a new and better start. I get you. So I've also been thinking for next year, I'm going to be setting out a lot more swarm traps for to catch some swarms, because last year I had some good success with swarm traps. I really caught two. The first one I was able to bring back, and everything's still going good with it now. It was actually in my recent video. It is a little light on bees. That's one I'm kind of a little bit concerned about, but not really. They have brood in there, and they're getting going. They'll be fine. I just need them to kind of build up a touch more, and they'll be good to go. And I also think it just seems like those bees are more of a different strain of bee than what some of my others are. It seems like some of my other bees are more, of course, Italian, because most of my bees are Italian, but looks a little bit more like a Russian, maybe Italian mix. Um, so, and then the second one, it unfortunately got away from me. I brought it back, and then the next day it was gone. Don't know what happened. Most of them flew back to the original spot. The queen was not there, so have no idea what happened. So unfortunately, wasn't able to. I guess that's not really officially caught, but I did get it in the box, so I guess it counts for something. So my method was it was a double nuke, because Philip Morse from RTX Honeybees, I've mentioned this story a while. He commented on the video, gave me a great idea, and I'm using it, and works great. So I'm gonna use it next year. And basically, what it was you have a bottom two double nukes. The bottom one was empty, top one was 4 empty frames, and the middle was a drawn frame. It works great. It counts. Yep. I mean, you got to count it. I mean, I got it in the box. It just got away at the end. So I caught 2 swarms this year, but just a little bit of bad luck within there. But it still works. The method works. It's just I think the next time I'll learn from that. I've done that multiple times. I don't know why. I still haven't learned from that. It seems like multiple times when I catch a swarm, I forget to, on top of the bottom board, put a queen excluder so the queen can't leave. I just keep forgetting to do that. So anytime I catch a swarm, I'm going to start doing that. I think that's the reason why, because that whole colony is able to leave. If that queen can't leave, the bees will stay. That's what I'll do next time. No method is perfect. You're right. No method is perfect. But the first one I did, I actually first did just a single nuke. It never did well, so I just kind of changed it up a little bit, and it works now. Or at least it can catch swarms. It might not work all the time, but it still catches them from time to time. We are still rolling pretty well down here in southeast Louisiana. Going to see about a cutout tomorrow. Awesome. We're still rolling down here. I'm down here in southeastern Alabama, and got goldenrod coming in, which is really helping the bees out, like I've been mentioning, and just really looking good, honestly. I'm really I have some. I think my bees are going to do well this winter. I really do, but time will tell. Colonies can be deceiving this time of year. They could be packed with summer bees, and once they die out, there may not be as many winter bees. Oh, that is something to think about. That is true. A lot of those summer bees do kind of die out this time of the year, and those winter bees will start coming out. A lot of people may wonder, and this is just something I've done some research on bees, and it's really interesting. But the real difference between summer bees and winter bees is winter bees have more fat on them. There's some other differences, but they're a little bit more better and equipped for winter. Putting a queen excluder on the brood boxes does not always help. The queen has slimmed down to swarm, and sometimes she can get through the excluder until she starts laying again and fattens up. You're right there too. That's why sometimes, I mean, it's worth a try, I think, but sometimes things don't work. Sometimes if a swarm wants to leave, that's just what they're going to do. They're just going to leave. Well, I guess we'll start wrapping it up here for tonight. I appreciate y'all so much for watching. Tonight was a little bit more. I've just kind of getting back into the rhythm, so tonight wasn't kind of got a little bit better later on of my live streaming skills, but just a little rusty, but kind of got going. So thank y'all so much for joining tonight. I mean, been a very nice chat. Make sure to share this out. Subscribe if you are new. Make sure to like this video so it'll get out to more people. Yep, that's right, because once she starts laying, she is not going to go anywhere. That's one thing I can find for sure. If you can get that queen to start laying, she is not going to leave the colony. It's really that's one thing. You can't get the queen to leave the colony no matter what until she can once she's starting to lay really good. I've seen it happen. You know what? The one I actually lost, it actually had some eggs in there, but she just really wasn't going real good. She wasn't laying long, maybe a day or two. If I see any last second questions, I will try to answer them if I'm able to. But I do appreciate y'all watching tonight. Make sure to click that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And like I said, that QR code, make sure to scan that and it will send you to the email newsletter. You can subscribe to that if you're not already. If you don't want to, that's fine. If you do, thank you very much. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all all very much. I do appreciate y'all. I couldn't do this without y'all. And also thank you, Tim and Hannah, for gifting 5 memberships. This was earlier to Keith. Let me shout out the members that were gifted. Flower Street Farm Bees, Brian. He's been gifted some memberships before, so he's 2 months. We got Lisa, Keith, Melanie Cruz, and SA. SA watches the videos a lot of times. I don't really know his or her name. I do need to find that out, but he actually sent he actually sent me an email because a while back I was doing my candy boards, and he tried out my method and he liked it. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing candy boards this year, but we will see. I'll probably just do some sugar bricks and the Hive Live fondant. So shout out to the members. We also got one that subscribed naturally. The name is Patty44441. So thank you also for subscribing to the membership. So that's in total 6. If you want to subscribe to the memberships, you can. I probably should start doing something with the memberships. I really don't know what. So if y'all have any ideas for something something exclusive to the members, I mean, that might be something to think about. Y'all give me ideas in the comment section below if y'all want. But thank y'all so much for watching. And I hope everybody has a good night and a good week. So hope all your bees do well and have a great day.